Hello, craft beer friends, and welcome to Season 12, Episode 12 of Tap to Craft Podcast, where the beers are cold, the conversations are warm, and the holiday cheer is flowing. I'm your host, Denny Luce, coming to you from wintry and wonderful Boise, Idaho, and joining me, as always, is my partner in craft, the man who can talk beer while wrangling dogs, dodging Florida humidity, and somehow making Santa's nice list. Florida's finest beer adventure. Coming from Tampa, Florida, Mr. Kris McKenzie.
Denny, that was a good one. Whew. I'm like,
Yeah,
okay, let's go do this. Well, hey, guys, this is going to release on Christmas.
Christmas Day.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
But today with us, we have Brandon Bingman from Middle Ground Brewing out of Murfreesboro, Tennessee. Brandon, thank you for hopping on with us and joining us this evening.
My pleasure. Happy to be here.
Denny, how are you doing today?
Oh, yeah, I forgot to say,
Listen,
ask you how you're
listen, you
doing.
mix up the intro, look what happens.
I know it gets all screwy, but yeah, I'm doing good. I'm off this week, enjoying the Christmas week celebrations. Yeah, it's good. I'm looking forward to chatting beer and drinking some beer because Brandon was kind enough to send us some beer to talk or to drink while we talk to him about his
Mm,
brewery and the beers he brews. So looking forward to that. And Kris, how are you doing?
Good. Just like I was telling you before we got on, just got back from my dad's house in Jacksonville 2 hours ago. So 3 hour drive. And then jump on here and chat with you and then, not to leave him out too. Brandon, how's your day going, man?
Good. Brewed a cold IPA today.
Ooh,
Knocked that
nice.
Okay.
out. Hit the numbers right where we wanted it. So yeah, it's our flagship cold IPA, and yeah, looking forward to another fresh batch.
Okay,
Very
so
nice.
wait, one of your flagship beers is actually a cold IPA. Is that?
Yeah, it's a little weird, isn't it? But
No, it's
yeah,
great. I love it.
yeah. And we try not to get too bogged down in the nitty-gritty of
Mhm.
what kind of IPA is this or what kind of IPA is that. It's just if you like how it tastes, drink it. And so yeah, it's a really crisp. It's actually called Crispy Crush IPA, but it's
Nice.
really crisp and refreshing. And yeah, it's very popular.
That's awesome because I am a big fan of cold IPA. I try to drink as many as I can. I'm hoping it's a style that doesn't go away because I think it's a really good, uh, you know, you know, characteristics of a lager with a little hoppiness, and I love the fact that there's not any of that vegetal character in there. Sometimes when you do hoppy lagers, they kind of come across a little vegetal, but it's a little bit of dankness sometimes, a little nice and
Mhm.
crisp, lighter um, flavors and stuff. So it's really good. So yeah, I'm pleased that that's a flagship because I want that style to stick around.
Yeah.
Well, and if the style goes out of fashion, we'll just stop using that style name. It's still an IPA. It's fine.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. All right. Well, hey, let's get this show started. Before we get too far into the show, we like to let anyone new listening know what Tap to Craft Podcast is all about. We are an educational podcast focused around celebrating all things craft beer because we want to assist you, our listener, along in your craft beer journey and adventures. And you listen to episode 298, recording on Monday, December 22nd, 2025. We are live on Facebook. And if you'd like to join us during a recording session, you can do that on the Monday prior to release at 8:30 Eastern Time. And in this episode, we are going to learn about Middle Ground Brewing out of Murfreesboro, Tennessee with Brandon Bingman. Also, we're going to enjoy a few of these big cans that he so kindly sent us and do some tasting notes and talk to Brandon about how he brewed these beers, as well as some great conversation. So, what better way of getting the conversation started than by opening up a beer? We're going to do the Live Laugh Lager. Is that okay? Is that
Let's
what you
do
got
it.
there? Okay, let's
Okay.
do that one first. And as we open this up, this is it's called Live Laugh Lager. It's a Helles style lager, 5.2% ABV, 18 IBUs. And Brandon, while we pour this, you want to just kind of talk about this beer a little bit? What we expect to.
Yeah, so Hellas is one of those styles where, as a home brewer, I always thought, if I can nail this style, then I've got the confidence to brew professionally. And so
Mm,
the previous brewery where I worked, that was kind of one of the pilot batches that I did that went to be a seasonal beer. And it's just I think Hellas is great because it scratches that itch for the Pilsner crowd
Hmm.
for it's just a beer flavored beer, you know?
Yeah.
And
Yes.
so you can't go wrong with it. It's, some of them, get a little hoppy. Some of them, some of the German ones, they're a little too almost wort like sweet for
Hmm.
me. And
Yeah.
so just a little bit of hop character to it is how I like to do it without going into that Pilsner kind of territory.
Yeah. 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 I can smell right away. Gotten a little bit of floral, some floral notes in there, almost a little bit of almost a little fruitiness at in there as well. It smells really, really appealing. I want to just like drink this thing up.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay. Well, while we do that, let's go ahead and take a sip. And Chris, have you already taken a sip? Or
I
you?
have not. I was actually getting
Okay.
ready to respond to our listeners, Jesse and Dan. They said Murfreesboro is only about an hour from them. So, hey guys, you got
Oh,
another brewery to check out in Tennessee.
come on. Yeah. All right. Well, you are absolutely correct. This beer has a nice, very, it's not heavy. It's got a nice lighter bodied, but and dry, nice dry finish with some of the flavors. You got some cracker malt in there, and yeah, some little bit of floral, a little bit of fruitiness, uh, nice bitterness in the finish, but not too bitter like a pilsner can be. So yeah, this is a nice drinkable beer. It goes well in this 19.2 ounce can. What's the deal with the 19.2? It's not a 16, a little bit bigger. It's not a 32. It's kind of like in between. Is this a happy medium for you?
It's a happy medium. So when I was shopping around for Crowler Seamers before we opened, I
Mm-hmm.
felt like the 32 was too big. The 16 seemed like a lot of work for us. Yeah, this is sort of a in the
It's
middle,
just
if
the
you
right
will.
size.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You went Goldilocks on it. All right.
I, I
Yeah.
was actually when I opened the box and saw that they were not 32-ounce beers, I was a little bit relieved because
It's a
imagining us
good
trying to
point.
drink 64 ounces of beer and talk with you at the same time, we'd be feeling pretty good.
Hmm.
So
Yeah.
19.2 is just right.
It's big
Yeah.
enough to share, but small enough to drink on your own. It's
Hmm.
perfect.
Yeah. So yeah, this is a very drinkable beer. I love the flavors in it because, like I said, it goes through like you know, the whole gamut, right from the malt to the hops. I'm getting a little bit more of the floralness, a little flowery notes in there than I was at the beginning. Now my mouth is getting adjusted to it. It's a really pleasant, easy drinking beer that goes well with starting off the night with a nice lighter uh, lager before you hit into that flagship cold IPA.
Yeah, exactly. No, so I use a nice clean hot bitterness. I use German Magnum to bitter it.
Mm,
And that's all added at 30 minutes or later in the boil. And then the Whirlpool hops, I like to change that up. So I think on this batch, it was Hull Melon. So that might be where some of that fruitiness is coming from.
okay.
I've used, Saaz and,
Yeah.
some more traditional noble varieties in the Whirlpool. Um, and I like to do, I guess they call it a cool steep whirlpool, or there's some name for it where you drop the temperature of the whirlpool down to, 180 in that range,
Mm,
190, and you kind of pull out some of the more subtle notes of the hops in the
yeah.
whirlpool. So yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's very, very drinkable, crispy. Um, yeah. One of the things that Chris and I enjoy in a good beer is one that you take a sip and you want to take another sip right after you
Yeah.
take that first sip. This is one of those beers, right? It's just it edges you on to say, hey, don't stop, keep on drinking. This is you're gonna want more of this. Okay, so it sounds like I mean we have some questions here, but it sounds like you already kind of hinted at the fact that you wanted to produce this beer that was drinkable and had a good balance between the malt and hops. I mean, you kind of explained that in how you designed the beer there. I think this works really well. It is a very well balanced. You get, like I said, you get that malt, you get that hops, you get a little bit of bitterness, but not too much, and it's all really works real well. Um, and as you mentioned, for your home brewing experience, that lagers can be deceptively difficult to brew. So what part, and well, you know what? You already answered that question too. What parts of the process do you focus on mostly to get this one right? You kind of already hit that. Man, you must have read our questions beforehand.
You guys didn't show me, I promise. Yeah.
And okay, how about this? Why is a lager like this important for your lineup, and what kind of brewery do you want Middle Ground to be?
Well, you actually kind of took the words out of my mouth. When you have a beer and you immediately want to have another sip,
Hmm.
we like to focus on making beers that you want to order more than one of,
Yeah.
right? And so
Yeah.
it's fun to have kind of the random, imperial stouts or triple
Hmm.
IPAs or, um, beers with lactose and nothing wrong with any of that kind of beer. But really, your bread and butter is, hey, if somebody gets a beer, you want them to
Hmm.
come back up and order a second one when they're
Yeah.
hanging out. And so that mentality really drives a lot of what I brew, whether it be an
Hmm.
IPA or a stout or a Helles or whatever. Um, but um, but yeah, I think I like dry beers.
Hmm.
I think that most people like dry beers.
Hmm.
And so cold IPA, obviously, that's
Hmm.
a very dry style IPA. Mash this Helles, I mash it, nice and low, so it dries out really good. I think that just generally speaking, a nice crisp, refreshing beer is what people are after. So
Yeah.
that's what we go for.
Okay. Excellent.
Yeah.
Well, I only have this much left, so while we talk about your craft beer journey, I'll be sipping on this, awaiting the next beer to come. So, as we mentioned, we are an educational podcast. We love hearing about people's craft beer journey and helping them along in their craft beer journey. So, our listeners like to find out about brewers' craft beer journeys and how they evolved their taste for beer. So, how did you discover craft beer? And if you remember, what was that beer that made you go, "Wow, this craft beer stuff is really tasty"?
Hmm. Well, I'm gonna give away my age here, but
Okay. Okay.
some of my first craft beers, and it depends on how you define craft. But we were in college. I was drinking, Newcastle, Guinness,
Okay. Oh wow.
um, Sierra Nevada Pale Ale. Man, what else was I drinking?
You went right
Uh,
into those things right in college.
yeah, I tried the high school beers in high school and just I
Oh,
didn't
so
like it.
yeah, you just got them out of the way earlier. That's all.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Okay.
yeah.
Never mind. I
Um,
take it all back.
yeah. Tried those in high school and just couldn't get into it. But yeah, so I had a really good friend in college, still friends to this day, but he kind of introduced me to a lot of great beers. And of course they were great. We're just outside Nashville, and so there were Blackstone Brewery has been around since the 90s. So we were, drinking some Blackstone Nut Brown Ale and
Hmm.
some of the other beers. They had a Chaser Pale, which I think was a Kolsch back then. So we were drinking some of that.
Wow.
Bosco's was a local brew pub. There's still one down in Memphis. So we were going to Bosco's drinking that. Um, and there was a local beer here called um, Bohannon Vanilla Cream Ale. And
Oh
it's
yeah.
probably not something I would like nowadays, but when I was 21 years old, I mean, I was really digging it. There's kind of a
Yeah.
gateway craft beer.
Hmm.
Um, so Bohannon Vanilla Cream Ale, man, that's a classic Nashville beer that's not around anymore.
Mm.
Um, and of course, so I spent 10 years working at Yazoo Brewing Company in
Mm.
Nashville, and they took on the Gerst brand, which the Gerst House was a classic German restaurant in Nashville, and they had a Gerst amber lager that they had there for just forever. Old Nashville folks talk about it, just chugging Gerst at the Gerst House by the what's now where the Titan Stadium is. So
Oh,
Oh.
okay.
yeah,
Mm.
so
So
that's a lot. But yeah, that was kind of my craft beer beginnings, 20 plus years ago.
yeah, and usually a lot of people's it starts out that way, right? A lot of people we hear that Sierra Nevada Pale Ale a lot, not the Newcastle as much, but
Hmm.
it's one that we hear a lot too is Pete's Wicked Ale.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm
Yeah.
guilty.
Yeah, right. So that and then mine was Sam Adams, like those kind of beers. So I was whether you think you're dating yourself or not, I still think it's a pretty cool way to kind of look at it. Say whether Sam Adams, Sierra Nevada, like all those different gateway breweries that we can still drink some of today. So,
Yeah.
um, so Brandon, do you have a favorite beer style that you like to go to, or like do you have a go-to beer?
Boy, it's probably a Helles. Like if I'm going
Hmm.
to a brewery, it's a lager,
Hmm.
a Helles, a Pils, maybe a Kolsch, just something kind of a crispy boy that's just an approachable beer. That's normally what I'm going for first, you know.
Yeah, yeah. You said something earlier. It's kind of one of our magic words that we use a lot. It was you said beer
Beer
flavored beer.
flavored beer. Yeah.
I was
Yeah.
like, all right, 2 points for Brandon on that one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Okay, how about a style that you first disliked but have since to grown to enjoy?
Oh goodness. Ooh. Well, I might be cheating on this question a little bit. I'm not directly going to answer that, but I'm a big fan of Rauk beer, of smoke
Uh-huh.
beers.
Okay.
Okay.
And normally, when you first try those, or when people first try them, they don't really like them. But
Yeah.
um, once you have a few of them, you sort of adapt to the flavor, and it
Hmm.
becomes just a really, it's like eating food. There's something kind of primal about it with when
Hmm.
there's smoke flavor
Sure.
involved. And, probably the first Rauk beer that I had, I don't think I enjoyed, but man, I love those beers.
Yeah, I think it goes. I also did not like smoked beers, but I think it's because, American breweries were not doing it the right way, maybe, right? Putting some kind of smoked peat in there or something that just was just too strong. I don't know if you uh, Hair of the Dog Brewery in Portland. It's out of business now. It's closed down, but they were brewing some beers that a lot of them had smoked flavor in them, and they were just so strong that it was like I'm drinking
Hmm.
an ashtray. I just don't like this
Yeah.
this flavor. But I also have grown to appreciate smoke in my beer, especially when it's done with a really high quality, smoked malt that or even smoked hops. We have a brewery here in town that
Hmm.
does a smoked fresh hop IPA, and it's just really good with whatever wood that they smoked the hops in before they put it into the into the beer. It gives off just enough smoke flavor that enhances the other flavors in it. So, it's a good one. I mean, I agree that most people would say they didn't like smoked beers, and then most people would also say, and I still don't. But
Yeah.
that's good that you've enjoyed. So good. Do you have a favorite smoked beer that you like to go to?
I probably go with the classic, the Schenker Law from Bamberg.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Um, in recent years, it used to be you'd buy it in a bottle and it'd be, oxidized or old or
Yeah, yeah.
whatever, but it's canned. I think
It's
they
a
can it in Connecticut now.
Yeah, yeah,
So it's,
yeah.
man, it's pretty good now in a can if you can find it.
Yeah, yeah. It actually. So we have a distributor that we get things from Connecticut, and that's one of the ones that comes in that my wife has
Mhm.
bought for me, and it is. Yeah, it's nice. It's in a can now, so it's yeah, not oxidized, and you can enjoy the beers that the way it's supposed to be as close as you can. I don't know. One day I'll go to Bamberg or yeah, Bamberg,
Yeah,
right?
Bamberg. Mhm.
I just drew a blank
Bamberg,
and go sit in the
Connecticut.
garden, and drink some beers from the source. But I haven't had a chance to do that yet.
Okay. Yeah, smoke's definitely one of those flavors. If it's too much, or like you said, Denny, they got to use the high quality
Hmm.
ingredients to make it work out.
It,
Um,
something I found, this is a really, if there's any homebrewers listening, something that
Oh, there
I
are.
found really interesting when homebrewing is a lot of times the smoke malt that you purchase from like a homebrew shop, it's a big 55-pound sack of smoked malt that's been sitting around for 2 years
yeah.
because it
Yeah,
takes
or
forever
more.
to go through all that.
Yeah.
So if you're going to homebrew a smoke beer, try to get your smoke malt from a brewery. See if you can buy some off them. You
Oh,
might have better
Hmm.
results that way. Yeah.
yeah. Good advice. Good
Yeah, you heard
advice.
it here first. Go see if the
Matt
brewery will
Griffo's
sell it to you.
listening,
Yeah.
and he's a home brewer,
Well,
award-winning home brewer.
Matt Griffo's on. I'm sure Eric will hear this tomorrow. Matt Jung with Barkyard Brewing was just on here a little bit ago too. Um, yeah, if you can get your smoked malt directly from the brewery, then why not? So on the topic of breweries, Brandon, is there a brewery or a beer that you don't think gets enough love or is kind of like a hidden gem that people need to know about?
Ah. So I grew up just outside Columbus, Ohio, and I love Columbus Brewing Company.
Okay.
They're only in Ohio,
Yep.
and I think they're very underrated. I mean, they've won medals for their IPAs. Um, and yeah, you don't see it out and about because it's only in Ohio. But if you get a chance to get some Columbus Brewing Company, they've got a double IPA called Bodie that's
Bodie.
excellent.
Yep.
Yeah,
It's
and then just
delicious.
the Columbus IPA is great. And they're doing great lagers, a lot of cool beers.
Hmm.
So that's probably one I like to mention for like kind of underrated breweries.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, they're
perfect.
awesome.
Yeah, perfect. All right,
What
one last question. Oh, go ahead, Kris.
I was gonna say, what part of Columbus were you in?
So I grew up in Marysville, which is like the next county northwest of Columbus, so
Okay.
about 30 minutes outside of Columbus.
Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah, it used to be my home for a while too, outside of Akron.
Oh, cool. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. One last question for your craft beer journey. So, is there a brewery, a beer, or a style that is no longer around that you wish would make a comeback? You can choose just one or answer all three if you have one
Oh
answer for me.
gosh. A beer, a
Uh,
brewer, a style that's not around
yeah.
that I wish would come. Man, that's a tough one. I would say locally here in Nashville, I mean, like I said, Bosco's Brew Pub used to be here in Nashville. We're about 30 minutes outside of Nashville, but they closed the one here in Nashville. They still have it down in Memphis. That's just a
Mm,
classic brew pub, classic styles. So that's locally, I would say I really miss that. Man, styles. Hmm. You don't see enough like Scotch ales and things like that
yeah.
these days,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
you can
Scotch
find them,
ales.
just not like you could back, 20 years
Yeah.
ago.
Yeah. No, Scotch ale's a good one. All
I
Yeah.
right.
agree on that one.
Okay, there you made it. You did great, Brandon. We got you through your craft beer journey. You answered all the questions and some with unique answers as well, which we like to hear. So now we know you're on a tight schedule with your computer, so we're going to go right into the brew buzz. So no break for you. You got to go right into to the main topic here. And the brew buzz is devoted to discussing various beer related topics. And this week we're going to learn about middle ground brewing. So Brandon, and we're going to finish this beer. I've still got a little beer, so
Yep.
about
Yeah, me
halfway
too.
through the interview, we'll stop and we'll do that next tasting. And
And
then
and my battery is at 64%, so I think
oh,
Good.
we're
All right.
making it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're
okay,
ahead.
all right. All right. So first, we got to get to know you a little bit, but um, we're going to expound a little bit. You did mention that you did brew for Yazoo Brewing. So, but let's go ahead and I'm just going to ask you a question. So, how did your journey into brewing begin? And did you always know that you wanted to be a professional brewer?
Well, so I started homebrewing a long time ago, about 20 years ago, 2006-ish. And of course, loved it. Always yeah, just hooked on it from the beginning.
Hmm.
And it kind of ebbs and flows, kind of real heavy home brewer for a long time, step back a little bit. But yeah, the bulk of my experience professionally was at Yazoo Brewing Company. And yeah, it was a dream for a long time to open a brewery, back when I was homebrewing forever ago. But yeah.
Well, then
Okay. Oh, go ahead, Kris.
I was just curious how, and Denny, if it's in here, I'm sorry. I was just curious to know how long middle ground's been around. Um,
Yeah, so we've been open for just over 2 years, and yeah, just to continue on that. Um, so here in Murfreesboro, there's a couple 100,000 people in this county, and 9 years ago there was a couple breweries, but none that we really found to be like family friendly.
Oh,
Um, so my wife and I, our youngest is now 9 years old, but if you go back in time, 8, 9 years ago when he was a baby we would travel out to Oregon is where my wife is from. So we'd go out to Eugene or
hmm,
we'd go out to Arizona for, spring break. And we would constantly go hang out at breweries with, our little one and also our other kids that are now a lot bigger. And it was always just such a bummer to come home and why don't we have anywhere to hang out? So that was
Mm,
sort of the
mm,
motivation, the inspiration for starting Middle Ground. Murfreesboro is a family town, and yeah, so that was kind of where it started in terms of an idea, and I think we've executed on it pretty well. We've got a ton of like kids, and I know the kids in breweries thing is always a hot topic lately, but we've got a ton of kids that are telling their parents, "Hey, can we go to Middle Ground tonight? Can we go to the brewery? We want to go get a pizza and
mm.
hang out there." And so I think it's clicked pretty well.
So what kind of activities do you have for the kids? I mean, why do kids want to go to Middle Ground with, or have their parents taken to Middle Ground?
I think that a lot of breweries, and I think this might be at the heart of kind of that kids at breweries debate that you hear a lot
Hmm.
of times.
Hmm.
A lot of breweries sort of, say that they're family friendly or the kids are welcome, but
Yeah.
then you go and there's nothing to do. And so you
Yeah.
just have, it's just kind of chaos of kids running around or
Running around.
whatever.
Yeah.
And so we've got like a little play area. It's not like a full playground, but a small play area outside, sandbox for little kids. We've got sort of a kids corner inside. So kids can stay occupied and have something to do and feel like they belong and not just
Yeah.
like being dragged along.
Yeah.
So
No, that's perfect. That's what you need to do. I mean, you mentioned Columbus, Ohio, and my original co-host John Ream opened up Trek Brewing in Newark, right outside of Columbus,
cool.
and he did the same thing. He was in Seattle, and and he would visit breweries, and he wanted to make sure that the ones that they had enjoyed visiting were the ones that had activities and had the kids in mind, so that they weren't just running around. And so when he opened Trek, they have a whole kids section of games and stuff that's a little bit separated from. It's still in the same main room, but they're kind of cornered off into a corner where they can do their own thing and not be running around and stuff. So it's good. That's good
Well,
planning.
and so my wife and I, our youngest child, this is kind of I'm sure a lot of parents that are watching this can relate, but he colicky is maybe the term that gets used traditionally, but he screamed 18 hours a day for
Yeah.
the first 9 months he was alive. So we never got to go out and like have a meal. And we went to oh goodness, I can't think of the brewery, but it was a brewery out in Eugene in Oregon. And her parents picked us up from the airport. We went, we had lunch, and they had a little sandbox in the corner out on the patio. And this, our 9 month
Oh,
old kid at the time, went over and played in the sandbox for like an hour. And it was the first time in like a year that we actually had a conversation and could hang out. We were like,
Wow.
wow,
yeah.
this is really cool. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Was that Ninkasi Brewing? I
No,
think.
goodness,
Oh.
it's the other pub, the brew pub that has two locations. It's on the tip of my
Uh,
tongue right now.
uh,
Come
yeah,
on,
I'm
Denny,
trying to
you're in
think too.
Oregon.
Well, I lived in Eugene for 6, 7 years,
It's
back in the 90s and early 2000, well, 96 to 2002.
okay.
Um, but there's been breweries that are open since I left, and Ninkasi was one of the ones open since I left. But I've been there back and forth, and then the other one is, uh, which I'm having trouble remembering. But yeah, that's good though that they.
Yeah. Falling Sky. It just hit me. Falling Sky.
Oh,
There it
Yeah.
is.
It's like a
okay,
deli. Yep.
okay, nice, nice. All right. So we never asked you what your role was. So we know that you're a brewer. So our assumption is you're the head brewer of Middle Ground. Is that correct?
Yes, so I'm one of the owners. It's me and my wife, and we got a couple business partners. But
Okay.
yeah, head brewer, and got like I said, we've only been up in a couple years, so I'm doing most of the brewing, all the behind the scenes stuff on my own. Hired an assistant brewer recently. She's working a couple days a week, so growing, as best we can.
Hmm. Okay. All right. And yeah, so brewer, owner, part owner, and
Spinning all the plates all the time.
yeah, yeah, yeah. No rest. No rest for you.
Yeah.
All right, Chris, you want to pick a couple or pick one of these?
Yeah. Well, I mean, let's see.
We're trying to find ones that you haven't already answered.
Well, check those off so I don't read them again.
Well,
Um,
I mean, these two. Well, we can check that one
Well, you
off.
check that one off. I got the one I'm going with. So
Okay.
why did you guys go with the name Middle Ground
Oh, there we
Brewing?
go. Yeah.
Yeah, so here in Murfreesboro, we're actually the geographical center of Tennessee. And
Mm.
the largest university in Tennessee is Middle Tennessee State, which is right here in town. And so we wanted to have a name that sort of evoked some kind of a local feeling, right? Or some kind of connection. And Middle Ground's sort of it's a common place where people come together, where people meet up, where people can, put aside differences and sort of, meet in the middle, so to speak. So, yeah.
Well, I
Okay.
like that because it definitely, I mean, if you know the local area, then that definitely helps tie it in a little bit more. And I'm sure that was, like you said, that was part of the goal.
I think the next step is hopefully we can add coffee because a lot of people just
Ah.
assume it's a coffee shop.
All right, I could see that. Yeah, most definitely could see
Yeah.
that. All right.
Yeah. Coffee would be a good side business to
Yeah.
do as well. How about what were the goals, or what goals did you have for the brewery when you were first planning it, and have those goals shifted in the last 2 years?
Hmm. Uh, You know, obviously tons of brewery closures in recent years, a lot of kind of
Hmm.
uphill battles for folks, but we knew that the way to be successful was to first of all have food and be community focused, and to be taproom focused. And
Hmm.
so those are kind of, a few major goals that kind of guide what we're doing. And I think for the most part, we've stayed pretty true to that. We're definitely drawing most of our customers from the side of town that we're on. We're right next to the interstate that kind of cuts the city in half, and so
Hmm.
we're pulling from our side, so to speak. A lot of people just they when they think about driving over to the other side of town or vice versa. So I've got a ton of friends that live on the other side of town that I never see because it's a hassle, right? Um, but I think we're staying pretty true to that. I mean, back to the family friendly thing, you certainly have to kind of flex and bend on that a little bit. We do some comedy shows that we recommend to be 18 and up, so it's like,
Hmm.
hey, it's probably time to take your kids home.
Hmm.
Um, but as long as it's still on brand, we go for it. But yeah, I think we've stayed pretty true to just community focused. You got to have food and make it about the beer. So yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Sounds good.
Sorry, my screen glitched.
Oh, come on, Chris.
Wow.
Let's get into the beers.
Yeah, most definitely. So you talked about one of your core beers you guys have is a cold IPA. What was the name of that one?
That is Crispy Crush
Crispy
IPA.
Crush IPA. IPA. So what are some of the other ones that you guys have? And is there one that I know they're like your kids, like they're all your favorite, but do you have a favorite one of your core beers?
Which one are
The
you
one that I
most proud
drink,
of?
Yeah.
well, the one that yeah, they are like your kids. Um, so the Hellas is probably the one I'm most proud of. I feel like it's kind of the harder one to execute on.
Hmm.
We have a brown ale that's a year round that, of course, you guys have. And I think that brown ale is, one of those beer styles that a lot of times when you get it, it's just kind of a letdown.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Uh, and so this is heavy on the brown malt, and so it's got a
Okay.
lot of roast. So I think that
Nice.
it's a really I think this is the beer that probably wows people the most when they try it because they're so used to being disappointed by brown ales. It's nice and it's a new take on it or new to them anyway. So yeah, probably the Hellas and the Brown, which obviously the ones I sent you are probably my two favorites. Yeah.
That's perfect. I'm a big fan of brown ale, and I agree with you. It gets no love. In fact, I just had a brown ale yesterday or the day before from a brewery that I really respect for making great beers, but they made the brown ale as a joke, and they released a beer that was just like mediocre because they said the style is crap, so we're just making a crappy beer. I'm like, I mean, how disappointing is that? Why would you ever not try to make the best brown ale that you could, right? Prove them wrong that it's not a a style that's not worthy. And I even wrote it. I checked it in, and I was I was kind, but I said it looked like you guys just kind of phoned this in. It's just disappointing. And they said, yeah, it's a crappy style, so we made a crappy beer. I'm like,
Come
I'm just like,
on.
come on.
Mm.
I mean, that's the worst. I mean, I kind of lost a little respect for I mean, they make good beer, but they sound like they're kind of jerks, and not looking out for the consumer. Because I was actually looking forward to a brown ale that was good, and it was just like, pretty weak. So I'm looking forward to your brown ale, because hearing you describe it sounds like I'm really going to enjoy that beer quite a bit. As much as I enjoyed this one, it's empty now, so it's
Yeah, mine's gone.
how's your beer going there, Brandon?
Oh, I'm a slow drinker tonight.
It's okay. We can keep asking some
I
questions.
have it all the time though, so you guys are allowed.
Yeah.
That's true.
You do it at your pace. We're
Oh.
gonna do ours.
All right. So how? So let me ask this question, and then we can open our next beer. So how do you decide what styles to brew, and do customers' taste influence that in any way?
Yes. So yes, I
IPA,
get
IPA.
we get suggestions for beers all the time, and I just say, I have to sell this, right? So absolutely. I try to keep a couple few lagers on at a time,
Hmm.
and then a couple few IPAs, and then everything else, normally a dark beer or two, and then maybe a sour if we have the space for
Oh,
it. And that's sort of the
okay.
way we run our tap wall.
Okay. All right. Sounds good to me. All right. Well, now we're gonna bust open this second beer from Middle Ground. It's gonna be the second best brown. And this batch comes in at 6.2% ABV. So
Oh, cool.
that's a healthy brown right there. And you already mentioned that we should expect some a little bit more roasty notes from the brown malt. Um, ooh, I smell a little coffee coming off of I'm assuming that's just coming off the roast of the beans, or is there
Yeah,
coffee in this?
no, there's no coffee in it, and that kind of catches a lot of people by surprise. And we
Yeah.
we put coffee as a flavor descriptor in the menu, and people just assume, oh, does that have coffee
Yeah.
in it? It's like, no, it doesn't. But yeah, so this is an English brown malt that's in this beer,
Mhm.
and some of the name brands of English brown malt are actually called a coffee malt.
Okay.
And so yeah, strong coffee tones is
Yeah.
definitely coming from the brown malt.
Yeah. It
And it's
smells great.
Yeah, it's yeah, really aromatic, and it's a
Yeah.
little when you taste it mid fermentation, it's a little like, oh, that's a bit much, but then it kind of settles into itself and mellows out.
Okay. Yeah, I wasn't expecting the coffee aroma. I was expecting mostly like a toffee
Oh yeah.
and maybe a little bit of chocolate if there's some chocolate notes. But this is I'm looking forward to tasting it. So Kris, you already
It's-
tasted it?
I have not, but it smells like something I want to have when I wake up in the morning.
Hmm.
It really does. And I can see what you mean, Denny. It's a little confusing on the nose where you're like, really, there's no coffee in that.
Wow.
Okay.
And you know what? The coffee and the malt is just like a little bit of undertone that goes right along with the toffee, a little bit of caramel toffiness and
Burnt sugar.
yeah, a little burnt sugary kind of character, but really tasty. Now, if I would have opened this the other day and drank it, I would have said, "There you go. Here's a nice brown."
This is not, but I just read your check-in too. I can't believe they even responded the way they did.
Yeah, it was pretty. It's pretty
Like that's
sad.
pretty sad. Uh,
It was pretty
Considering
sad.
like what you, Brandon, and so many other people that we have talked to in the past have said, and you're like, man, like it ain't easy keeping a brewery up and running, let
No.
alone open anymore. And they're just like, yeah, we did it as a joke because this style's boring. Yeah, he's not kidding. I almost want to put him on blast for it.
No, no, no. I'm not
No,
going to
But I'm
blast
not going.
anyone.
I said
I'm not going to
almost. I
blast
didn't say I
anyone.
was
No, no, no.
going to.
Okay, so Brandon, we always are interested in how breweries come up with their name. So why is this called the second best brown? What's the first best brown?
Well, so I don't really like naming beers, and so when we first opened, it was just brown ale, right?
Mm,
Just simple, it's what it is. And so many people would come in and they would try it and they would say, "Wow,
so,
this is one of the best brown ales I've ever had."
yeah.
And each time I would say, "So is it the best?" Well, it's really good. I don't know if it's the
Definitely
best.
up there.
And so the term best brown ale is actually trademarked. And so I was just like, hey, second
It's the
best brown
second.
ale it is, man.
I love it. I absolutely love the name now. Now
Yeah.
you put the story to it, and I'm just like, exactly. I mean, I've been there when people have said same type of comments like, well, it's not the best, but it's pretty good.
Yeah.
It's the
Yeah.
second best.
It's like that scene
Well,
in Elf when he's like, "You guys did it! The world's best cup of coffee! Congratulations!"
yes. The trademarked best brown ale is really excellent as well. So that's a Michigan brewery. Look it up if you're curious.
Okay.
Okay. Wow, I don't know what else to say.
But it's from
I really
Michigan. Ew.
appreciate. Did you?
Sorry.
You probably didn't know that I'm a brown ale fan before you sent these beers. You just were sending, two of your best beers, and I appreciate that you sent the brown because if you would have sent this, maybe, well, I wouldn't say that. Maybe if you would have sent this to other podcasters, they would just have as much appreciation for a brown ale that tastes really good. But to me, being a person that loves brown ales, this is really unique. I've never had a brown ale that didn't have coffee added, have that little note of coffee in there that is not overwhelming. It just adds a little bit more nuance to the malt flavor and is really
Oh.
enjoyable. I really like this beer quite a bit. So great job, Brandon. Really, this is this is the second best beer brown ale I've ever had.
It's the
You
best you've
know,
had today.
no, no, no.
Yeah,
So even that Ring a Ding brewery you're talking about,
yeah,
I like this one better.
yeah. All right. Well, anything else you want to ask Kris about the beer? I'm just going to
Uh,
say it's great. I don't, and I already kind of explained the flavor profile.
and you really
Um,
did a good job with it too.
and the body is just right. It's not too thin. It's not too heavy. It's just like the right body for the brown. Um, and it does come, it does have that malt sweetness to it, a little bit of sweetness, but it does, dry out. Like you said, you like dry beers. It's not super dry, but it does have a drying finish, which again makes you want to just take another sip because you're not being fatigued by too much sweetness. All right, well, we're going to enjoy this second best brown ale while we continue the question. So, Kris, why don't you go ahead and hit Brandon up with the
All right.
question?
So one of the things that a lot of breweries do are seasonal beers. Do you guys have any creative or seasonal beers that you guys have put together recently? I mean, this is releasing on Christmas. Is there a winter
Mm.
seasonal or anything that you guys have on tap?
Well, the newest kind of seasonal, we don't tie our beers to seasons too hard. We just kind of rotate through. But the next one we've got coming up is actually a black IPA, which a lot of people,
Okay,
yeah,
so you have said all the
There's,
right words to Denny. So let me
there's,
lay this out for you. You went Helles Lager first off, brown ale for second one, English brown ale. Like you and like Denny's gonna be stalking you. I just want to let you know. And then you were like,
awesome.
oh, black IPA. Like,
Yeah.
sorry if he's like camping
I'm a
out on your
huge black
doorstep.
IPA fan. So glad the style's come back in like a rotational, seasonal, like wintertime release. A lot of breweries are releasing them during wintertime for a nice, hearty, malty IPA.
Yeah, and that's
Black.
you'd asked the question earlier about do consumer preferences or suggestions kind of drive what we do at all? Black IPA is a beer I probably wouldn't have touched, but so many people were asking for it that I brewed a small batch of it for our Star Wars days. It was the
Oh,
Dark Side IPA, and then this is basically a scaled up version of that, and it should be coming out here in the next week. So
all
That's
right.
that's
Well, yeah, I need to make a trip to Murfreesboro, Tennessee to
cool.
to try your black
Well,
Might not last
IPA.
long. You got to hurry.
well, and Denny, Jesse's even going, well, Denny can come visit.
Yeah. 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 Wow.
Awesome.
Great. Great. So yeah, and I like is it just by chance that you're releasing it during the winter time, or was it kind of planned to bring this out, that black IPA out into, towards the cooler months?
Well, I guess it was planned. I mean, looking at kind of the upcoming brews a couple months ago, thinking, hey, we need maybe some more dark beers, but also you still have to, keep IPAs on the tap wall because people just
Yeah.
got to have it. And
Yeah.
so it was, okay, this makes sense. Let's do a black IPA. It'll come out here in the wintertime. It should kind of scratch that dark beer itch for some people and
Hmm.
that IPA itch for some other people. So,
Yeah.
yeah,
You
it works well this time of year.
and you have customers like asking for that.
Yeah, some of them,
Yeah.
yeah,
You got
just
some
won't leave
good
me alone about
clientele.
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice. All
Cultured
right.
even.
Yeah. Are there beer styles you personally love but haven't brewed yet? And what's stopping you from brewing them if there is?
Hmm. So I mentioned Rauk beer earlier.
Hmm.
I have brewed a Rauk beer at Middle Ground, and it was kind of, traditional Bamberg, smoked Märzen kind of style.
Hmm. Hmm.
And that was the first beer that I brewed where I just said, I don't care how it sells. I don't care if anybody likes it. This is my beer.
Mm.
And it was awesome. And eventually we sold all of it, but it took a while. Uh, so
You, yeah,
it
you had
might
to
be a
you
minute
had to
before I do that again.
yeah, you had to do buy this beer and you get this one for half price, right? That kind of
Yes.
thing.
Yeah.
I didn't
That's
hear.
good.
I didn't, and I'm sorry I didn't hear it. I was trying to respond to something. What was the style?
Uh,
A Rauk beer, like a Bamberg
Oh,
style
okay,
smoked
okay, okay.
lager. Yeah.
All right. Okay.
yeah, that's awesome. Is there any other thing besides the smoked beer that you want to, but like Belgian beers? Is there anything keeping you from doing Belgians, or you just don't think that's a big seller in Murfreesboro?
I'm not too into that.
Okay.
And yeah, I've done like a wit and
Hmm.
I feel like maybe there was a saison that I had done, but yeah, they don't move real fast for us. So
Hmm. Yeah.
but yeah, there's probably a lot of stouts out there that I'd like to do that we haven't.
Okay.
So there's always room for something new.
Yeah. So we haven't talked. We weren't gonna. I don't have any questions about it, but I'm just curious. What size of a brew house do you have? How many? What's the size of batches that you are brewing that you need to get out the door?
So it's a 7 barrel brew house, but then I'll also scale down and do some 5 barrel stuff.
Okay.
Typically the core beers are, 7 barrels, and then rotating stuff is sometimes a 7 barrel, but typically 5 barrel. It keeps it a little fresher,
Yeah.
rotate through stuff more. So
What size fermenters do you have? Are they all 7 barrel fermenters?
they're all seven, and then we've got 4 fermenters, and then we've got 5 single wall bright tanks that are in our cold room.
Oh.
And so
Oh wow.
a lot of our beer is just being served straight off a bright tank.
Okay. Okay. So you are one. So there are some breweries that do that, and I'm glad you mentioned that because I'm kind of curious. Well, why'd you choose to do that? Just to save money on the kegging aspect, or what's the reason for serving straight out of the bright tank?
Um, so if you've ever spent days cleaning kegs in a brewery, I think it's pretty easy motivation. It's like, oh, I
Self-explanatory.
don't have to clean as many kegs.
Yeah.
So yeah, I find it to be. I know there's different ways of crunching the numbers and the labor and all that good
Hmm.
stuff, but I think you're using less chemical, you're using less water, it's less
Yeah.
labor on cleaning kegs. Um, and some of the nice kind of side effects of using bright tanks is, we have unfiltered beer, but boy, our beers drop out just nice and clear,
Yeah.
especially with some, cold findings in it. But we get nice, just beautiful beer coming off the bright tank, off the serving tanks. But also space was an issue. We
Hmm.
basically took over an old pizza restaurant and we jammed the brewery and our kitchen into what was just a kitchen.
Yeah.
So it's about
Wow.
900 square feet. It is really tight,
Well,
so
that's
there's not
small.
a lot of room for kegs. Yeah, so eventually we'll probably put a big shed out back to store stuff. But so space was a big concern. Um, and also money wise, I think it was an easier startup cost to do that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Denny, I know
And
you don't have TikTok, but I don't, and I'm not sure where you guys posted this as well. But Brandon, I watched you guys receive an order the other day.
very interesting. Yeah.
That man, that's a process. So give you kind of an idea, Denny. He's
mhm.
got to move. What's that? An 6 foot, 8 foot table on wheels.
Six, yes, five or six. Yeah.
Okay, so we got to move that out of the way, and then bring everything in off the truck through the back door.
Yes, basically.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then wheel it in with a pallet jack in through that space that he took the table out of to drop it into the brewing area. I was
Yeah.
like,
It's
but hey,
logistics.
you make it work, right?
Yeah.
You make it work. And, it's really nice when the delivery comes when we're closed.
Oh man. I mean, you gave a shout out to your driver. You're like, hey, he's
Yeah.
nice enough to bring this all the way inside for us.
Wow.
But man, if
Nice.
you're closed, that might be a little bit more of a headache.
Always offer your drivers a beer or a
Mm.
Coke or something.
Most
Always.
That's
definitely.
right.
That's right.
Always.
Yeah.
Know them by first
Exactly.
name, give them beers. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm all about. I'm my wife and I are very friendly people, and we're always kind to anyone that comes over to work on our house or anything because for one thing I want to learn from them so I might be able to do it myself next time, and it's just nice to be, these guys are, I'm sure they have to deal with a lot of jerks out there in the world, and if they can have one nice experience to make their day better, why not give it to them? So I'm all for helping out the guys that are helping you out, and give a soda and give some praise and thank them. That's
It goes a
great.
long way.
He did. He was in the military in Germany, and so he did take a Hellas from me.
Ah.
Yeah.
Good for
Listen,
him.
that just builds the relationship even more.
Yeah.
All right.
So hold on before you do the next question, Kris. I one more
Go ahead.
question on to talk about the way you serve your beer. So because you're serving out of bright tanks a lot of times, does that mean that pretty much all your beer is being served locally in your tap room, or do you have some bars and stuff for other areas that you have beer go to? Is it just
Yeah.
out the
So
window?
most of our volume is just in the tap room.
Okay.
I think 10, places on tap, maybe at the most,
Okay.
in Murfreesboro, maybe kind of a 30-mile radius.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but that's a good growth area for 2026 is to get kind of out and about more. But
Yeah.
it's also a little confusing for some accounts when I say, they see that we have a new beer. It's like, well, we don't have it yet because it's not ready in a keg for you.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, but yeah, working on that. It's new to us, but not really ready for you yet. But yeah, most of the volume is right there in the tap room. We want to see you. Come see us. So
Yeah, 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 and has the largest margin, so you might as well be selling it, with get the most bang for your buck. One of the things that I hear a lot from small breweries that don't have the stuff you have, where you can actually serve your beer from bright tanks and not have to worry about emptying out a bright tank to get another beer in, out to kegs and not having kegs washed or available from, brought back from other venues is you don't have that problem that other, smaller breweries do, right? If they don't get their kegs back in time, that beer is sitting waiting, to empty out that bright tank for the next beer to go into it, and that's delaying their release of different beers. So I bet that helps a lot, having that extra space to be able to offload your beer into its own bright tank to serve it up without having to worry about filling kegs for a few hours a day to
yeah, yeah,
prepare.
exactly. Yeah, I wonder. There's probably some ratio average ratios out there. How many kegs do you need per
Hmm.
barrels you're making a year or whatever, and maybe we're kind of in a better balance because of the serving tank. So I like
I,
them. They're
Yeah,
pretty cool.
I like that
yeah,
that you're doing that though, and I learned something. I didn't even know that that was actually an option.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah. I don't know. It's not terribly common, but
hmm
I think a lot of the places that serve their beer that way probably aren't talking about it enough because it really is the freshest beer in town. It's coming right off the tank. So
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. One of the things that a local brewery here is doing is he's brewing. He has a big brewery, but then he splits the beers into three. Like he has 15 barrel brew house, but then he has 5 barrel fermenters and stuff that he can take the big batch and then split into three different beers that have different fermentation. They're same style, but they may use a different dry hop, different whatever. They're doing something different with them so that he actually can get three different beers that he can prepare off of one batch of brew day, because he's one guy doing all the work, living in the brewery. Basically, he built the brewery and he lives above it, so he doesn't have to have two mortgages. He just he just walks down and he doesn't worry about getting home late because he's home. He needs to go down at midnight and switch something over, and he can do that without worrying about having to drive all the way across town or whatever. So I like the idea of having those extra tanks. It's kind of smart.
But I love when you can kind of do those things, whether it's like, well, we don't have the space to store all these kegs just yet, so we
Yeah.
found a solution to it. Or just like the brewery you were talking about, Denny. Well, he wants to make three different batches out of one
Yeah.
big batch. Great. Like it's that, find the thing that works for you, and if it works, keep doing it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Doing it. All right. So you guys being in Tennessee, we don't hear a lot about Tennessee breweries.
No.
Um, honestly, before you guys, Yazoo was the only one
Yes.
that I really kind of knew about, right?
Yeah.
So do you guys have any strange laws that you've run into while you're trying to navigate running your brewery? Or
A lot of laws have changed in the last, 5, 10 years. There used to be a really restrictive self-distribution laws. It's opened up, pretty well now. The wholesale tax that we pay well, the the wholesale tax is paid by either the distributor or by the brewery if it's a self-distributing brewery, because you are
Mm-hmm.
your own distributor, right?
Mm-hmm.
But the distributor, the wholesale taxes are pretty high. I view it as essentially an effective sales tax on something that's being resold.
Yeah.
Um, so that makes distribution of kegs really not very profitable, especially if you're small like us and just have a handful of accounts. So maybe that's something that can change in coming years. But yeah, so I don't really view distributing beer as a revenue stream. It's just sort of publicity and getting your
Yeah.
face out there, which
okay.
Yeah.
is good. But yeah, it's pretty restrictive wholesale taxes for sure in Tennessee.
Well,
Okay.
I gotta say, out of things we've heard, that's not as big of a headache.
Yeah, it could be worse. And
Nice.
and again, if you're focused on having a taproom business, maybe it doesn't impact you as
Yeah.
much.
Yeah.
But yeah, nothing wacky like Utah or
You can only serve beer on Sundays from
yeah,
3
Utah,
p.m. to 6 p.m.
Mississippi,
yeah. You got to tap
New
your nose
Jersey.
while you pour the beer.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, they're definitely out there. Like, what was the one out of Minnesota? Like they weren't even allowed to serve their own beer in a tap
Yeah.
room or something like that
Yeah. There were
for
some
until
bizarre
like
laws that were,
2013.
yeah. Yeah. Crazy laws that just
Hmm.
like, how does
Yeah,
that
you couldn't have a
work?
tap room. It was to summarize it, was you just basically couldn't have a tap room.
Yeah.
Um, all right. So with craft beer being as competitive as it is, Brandon, it's kind of volatile too. What strategies have you guys put in place to handle your tough times?
Ooh, well, it that's a tough question to answer. Only being open, a couple of years, it's sort of like 2 years of sales data. What does it actually mean?
Hmm.
Because we're up. We've grown 2024 to 2025. So yeah, looking at January, I don't know what's going to happen. Could be terrible. It could be okay. I know January of 2025 was better than we expected.
Good.
Oh,
Um, but I think that one big mistake that breweries are making these days is that um, they they think that they're competing with other breweries, and you're not.
mm,
You're competing with just entertainment dollars or
mm-hmm.
restaurants, At the end of the day, it's just a place to go hang out and be with your friends. And
Hmm.
so you have to exist in the hospitality space really
Yeah.
well.
Yeah.
And so that's something that I talk about with my staff a lot. It's like, nobody cares about your brewery. This is just another place to hang out. And the fact that we make the beer here is just sort of an added bonus,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And so we're taking some steps to sort of exist in hospitality spaces better. Um, I'm looking at maybe getting a liquor slash wine license in 2026. The food is obviously a key component for
Mm.
us from day one. Uh, Events are huge for us. It's people need an excuse to go out. I don't know if that's a post-pandemic thing or if that's just
Mm.
the way things are, nowadays culturally, but people kind of look for an excuse or a reason to go out. And so you gotta provide that to people, I think. Um, but yeah, I think just accepting the fact that you exist in a hospitality space is really, really important for breweries to accept, right?
Yeah.
I like the
Yeah.
way you put it too, because you're not competing with other breweries. I mean, how many people in the craft beer world are basically buddies with the brewery down the street and every other brewery in town? And they're not competing. They're hanging out with each other and exchanging beers. And oh, I like that you did this, and oh, maybe we'll try that next time. And it's such a community. But the fact that you guys look at it as a hospitality space and you're fighting for that hospitality dollar
Hmm.
um, is, I think, is steps ahead of a lot of people. Uh, businesses or whatever, whether it's a brewery or whether it's a restaurant or whatever it might be, like that is an idea that I think is further ahead than you might even think. And I like the fact that you guys have that kids space as much
Hmm.
as some people. And I'll admit, I'm one of those people that I hate it when the little crotch goblins are running around in circles in the brewery, and I'm just like, I just want to have a beer,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, and honestly, a lot of that is on the parents too. But if they have a place where they can go hang out in that sandbox like your son did,
Hmm.
great. That makes it a whole lot easier for mom and dad to go just relax, have a couple beers, and put that hospitality money to use with you guys. So
Absolutely.
I
Yeah,
love
and I
that.
think, I mean, certainly there's we're sharing some core customers with other local breweries, but
Mm.
that's just a small sliver.
Mhm.
So yeah, but they're gonna support all of us, I think. So
How many breweries are on that side of the interstate?
on our side, none.
Okay, so
There's
you're wait,
yeah.
so you so wait a minute, you're not sharing it with anyone.
Wow, with other places in town, yeah, but we're the only. There's a really nice tap house on our side of town,
Okay,
um, and then there's a couple other breweries, here in Murfreesboro. So
okay, okay. So okay, one more thing before I get on the next question. One thing that has we've seen here locally, and I'm sure Kris has seen in his area too, is after the the pandemic, and it seems like the prices have raised up for beer. It used to be you could get a pint of beer for $5 now, and $6.
In Idaho.
Now, yeah, in Idaho. Now pints are $8, 8.50, where it's hard to justify for people to justify going out as often as they used to. Like I would go out every couple times a week and go get a pint or two at the local breweries. But then once the price started getting to 8.50, $9 a pint, it's harder for me to make that choice. Are the prices reasonable in Murfreesboro, or are you seeing that same type of price hike?
that's a complicated question, and this is something yeah, I dove into this recently because the prices you see in Nashville, many times it's a tourist
Oh
price.
yeah,
Mm.
yeah,
And
yeah.
so it's hard, it's hard to kind of analyze that. You have
Mm-hmm.
to you have to look at, okay, where are locals hanging out and what are the
Mm-hmm.
prices there? And then the cost of living is a little bit lower
Lower.
outside
Mm-hmm.
here in Murfreesboro.
Yeah.
And so yeah, I mean I recently adjusted some of our pricing, which included putting some of them up. But one of our flagship light lager actually dropped the price on that from $7 a pint to 6.50.
Okay.
And then it was across the board with stuff we're bringing in from our distributors as well. So some of those went up where we're kind of eating some of the cost and it didn't make sense. Um, but we do a happy hour, $5
Hmm.
pints
Nice.
during the week. Um, we do, and just aside from the beer, also we do like $5 pizzas on
Oh,
Sundays,
wow.
cheese pepperoni pizzas. So it's sort of, hey, yeah, the beer costs this much, but we got a really great deal for you for food,
Yeah.
so come out and
Yeah.
get both. Um, but yeah, I think it's pints are probably a little bit cheaper in Murfreesboro than up in Nashville, but
Yeah.
yeah, I haven't seen any, $9 pints or $8 pints. I think eight, like for a small batch, we'll charge eight, if it's just something that's going to go fast.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. Yeah.
most
Limited
of our
edition.
stuff's around 7.50 a pint.
Okay. Okay.
So
All right. You mentioned bringing the community into your place, having some comedy shows, of course, bringing the kids in and having something to do. What kind of community events or partnerships do you host at the brewery? Just some examples. We like to hear what people are doing because sometimes you might have something I never heard of that's that's pretty cool.
yeah, so two of our business partners are longtime professors at Middle Tennessee State, and so they're really well connected with the university.
Hmm.
And so something that we've kind of worked an event that they've put together for us is Pour It Forward Tuesday, where we from 6 to 9 p.m. on a random Tuesday during the month, we will donate $2 of every beer sold to like a local organization or
Oh,
charity.
wow. That's
Yeah.
big.
So the really well attended one, some of them were hit and miss with different organizations, but
Hmm.
we had there's a student, let's see if I get this right. It's a student emergency fund at the university. So if a student is in financial distress, needs to get their car repaired so they can get to class or get to
Hmm.
work, there's this fund where they can it's a grant, it's
Hmm.
money for students so that they can, keep attending school.
Yeah.
Mm.
Um, and so that was a really popular one a couple months ago. And so I don't remember the donation amount, but so we kick some money back to that student emergency fund, and we've got some other great organizations we're working with in the coming months. So that's been really, really successful.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
I mean, to hear $2 per beer, that's really good because normally it's like 50 cents or a dollar or what or they'll say they're doing a thing, but it ends up when you actually look at the what they're doing, it's like 10 cents a beer or something like that. But $2 is very generous. That's a great outreach
Yeah.
and community support. Okay, we know your battery's running down your computer. Do you think it has enough time to do some lightning round questions where you just answer like right off the bat? We can just get through a few of these.
I think so. Let's do it. Yeah.
Okay,
All
so
right.
these are our quick, just the top thing that comes off your head. Just say it, right? No thinking, deep thinking about it. Um, all right, so Chris, you
Nice.
want to start it off? It's 18%.
Yeah, you're
We
good.
can make it.
Yeah. All right. All right. So here we go. Go-to shift beer after a long brew day.
Hellas,
Okay, favorite hop, the first one that pops into your head.
Centennial,
Oh, nice.
Oh, classic. Beer style you're always order if you see it on tap anywhere.
Pilsner,
Okay.
Okay. What's your guilty pleasure beer? Macro or not, we don't judge here. Guilty pleasure.
Hams.
Whoa!
Okay.
Wow! That one. Okay, okay.
All right. If you could collaborate with any brewery tomorrow, who are you reaching out to?
Sierra Nevada.
Go to
Okay.
go to Malt Disney World.
Yeah.
Yeah, yes.
Yeah.
If you had to describe Middle Ground Brewing using only one word, what would it be?
Community.
Nice.
Mm. Your dream location for a second tap room anywhere in the world.
Murfreesboro.
Okay.
It's hard to establish somewhere else. You know what I mean?
And I love that you followed up with that because you were like, man, we did this. We're doing this once.
I don't want
Doing
to
it
do this
again.
again. Yeah.
Love that.
I love that answer. I love that answer.
Yeah.
Okay, what's the most Tennessee thing about your brewery?
Ooh. Our mascot is the Tennessee Cave Salamander.
Yep, that's pretty Tennessee. Jessie said she almost went to MTSU when she moved to Alabama.
Oh wow.
So she's oh God, don't hurt me, Jessie. But they got off because they're navigating through Oregon right now.
Oh.
Geology, chemistry, something science. I know
She's
that.
she's some kind of science thing.
She's gonna hear this, and she loves rocks. I know that much. I went to high school with her and her husband in Maryland, and yeah, she was like, "Yeah, I almost went to MTSU when I moved to Alabama." All right, last question. What's one brewing trend you hope sticks around, and one you hope just disappears forever?
I hope hazy IPAs go away.
Okay. Ooh, controversial answer. I like it.
I love
And
it.
gosh, I answered the second one first. Now I'm backwards.
One that you hope just sticks around forever.
Yeah, lagers, drinkable beers.
Lagers, yeah.
Drinkable beers.
Beer flavored beer. Oh,
well, Brandon, you really did an awesome job tonight. You had answers to all the questions. You make some fantastic beers, middle ground. Both beers, really, really well done. I have nothing negative to say about either of the beers. I'm savoring this one. I just got this little bit left, but I don't want to drink it too fast because I'm really enjoying the flavors in this second best brown now.
Best you've had tonight.
yeah.
The best one I had tonight. But yeah, we're gonna let you go because we know your battery's running down, and we know you're tired from a long days of work. We really appreciate you taking the time to come and talk to Kris and I and our listeners around the world about Middle Ground Brewing. We also really appreciate you sending these beers out. I mean, we'd love to be able to talk about the beers that Brewers brewing with them because you got to get some insight and we got to taste the beers, and I appreciate that. But before we let you go, we'd like to give you an opportunity to plug your social medias, the brewery, how they can reach you, anything you want to say. Thanks, raise your glass to anyone you'd like to raise a glass to tonight.
Yeah, appreciate all of the brewers that I've learned from in the past, and all the great traditional beers that we like making. And yeah, social media, give us a follow at Middle Ground Brew on Instagram, and trying to grow the TikTok. So follow us on TikTok, and of course find us on Facebook. And yeah, appreciate you guys having us on.
Yeah, thank you so much for the time and for the beers, Brandon. Again, I know it's not easy to go work an entire, especially a brew day, and then come and sit down and talk about everything you just did. So we do appreciate it. But guys, go check out Middle Ground Brewing. Like you said, go find them on all the social things, Middle Ground Brew, and especially on TikTok. Go give them follows. Tell them we said hi. And Dan and Jessie, if you make it up there, I expect a selfie.
Yeah.
And
with Brandon.
Well, yeah, if he's in there, go for it. But thank you again, man, and we'll talk to you soon. I'll get this. I'll tag you guys when this releases on Christmas Day.
Heck yeah!
So,
cheers!
Cheers,
right.
man.
Cheers.
Have a good one.
Merry Christmas.
Yeah, Merry Christmas. All right, Denny. I don't want to drink. I gotta have.
That was really fun. Really enjoying this brown ale. Really good. I love the flavors in it. Gives brown ales a good name. Brown ale.
And it's not boring either.
It's not boring. This is a good beer. It's not a boring beer.
It's a great beer.
It's got great flavors.
Honestly, it's the
drinkable.
It's the first best. Ooh, that'd have been a fun one. The first best brown.
The first best brown. All right. Well, let me go back up to the top. We got a few minutes to do a couple housekeeping things. So first off, we just want to, Kris and I want to thank all of our Patreon supporters because this episode is brought to you in part by our satisfied Patreon supporters like Bill Schlemmer, Amanda and Kevin Argauer, Mike Blanchard, Tara Carlson, Jim Kutzel, Alex Fuchs, Eric Scotty Ward. These are all of our virtual producers. And Tom Byrne, Jeff Seiler, Johan Halberg, Shiloh Monster, Mark Church, Eric Groundley, and Batman Dan, who want to buy us a virtual beer. And we got my buddy Peter Tim. He just wants to toast our hosts, and we appreciate that as well. If you enjoy the content we provide, we invite you to support the show by toasting your host or buying us a virtual beer or even becoming a virtual producer. You can explore the options on our support page by visiting patreon.com/tapthecraft. We're going to go down here, and we didn't give love to our Untap the Craft followers.
We didn't.
You want to go ahead and, are you ready for that, Kris? Or
No,
you want me to keep talking?
Brandon just texted me, and I'm saying thank you.
Oh,
So
yeah,
it's gonna make me log in. Come on, stupid.
oh, okay. Well, we also appreciate any feedback you guys have. If you'd like to contact the show with your comments or questions, you can reach us through email at tapthecraft@gmail.com or on Facebook at facebook.com/tapthecraft. And of course, visit our webpage at tapthecraft.com. Dogcom.
Dogcom.
Dogcon. And while Kris is bringing up the Untapped the Craft, I want to do a plug. Episode 300 is coming around in less than a month, in 1 month, basically 4 weeks.
Essentially, yeah. Yeah.
So we need you guys to help us make this episode great because, our episode 300 topic is going to be the 10 core beers we want to have on tap in our fictional tap room.
Well, I wonder.
It can be any. Yeah.
No, I'm sorry. Go ahead. Finish what you were. No, finish what you're saying, then I'll make the comment.
Okay, it can be any style, any beer brewed currently, in the past, or even extinct. We would love to hear the beers that all of our listeners would include in their tap list. So send us your list. It doesn't have to be 10 beers if you don't have 10 you like that much. Just whatever you have. And you can just put the names, or even better, if you can provide a short explanation of why you chose that beer would be great as well. So help us celebrate episode 300 by sending your list in as soon as possible. All right, Kris, what do you want to say?
I got to get on that too.
Yeah, me too. I haven't done it either.
But it made me think about it. You started talking about it, and then Mike Blanchard just hopped on and said, "Merry Christmas, guys. I've got a 4-pack of Rogue Dead and Dead for New Year's Eve. May they rest in peace."
I wonder if that was, Dead and Dead. They were already like realizing that brewery was dead by naming that beer.
I don't know if you got to watch the video that we made about the Rogue shutdown on YouTube, but someone commented, and I don't know if it was just if they worked there, if they heard through the grapevine kind of thing, but the person commented, yeah, it was pretty much expected. It was a pretty toxic place.
Oh, really? I was
like, do you have any more information on that?
Yeah.
Or you just...
Yeah, you want to send us a voicemail?
You want to
208-536-3359? Why? Did I just say it the right way?
You did, yeah. If you guys want to leave us feedback, whether it's random comments about what you think happened to Rogue, or if you're driving in the Pacific Northwest, Dan and Jesse just left Oregon. They went to Astoria today.
Wow.
I don't know if it was specifically to check out where they filmed the Goonies, but they did
and
bring
Kindergarten Cop.
Yeah, and they did bring that up to me last night when Dan was texting me. But yeah, guys, send us a voicemail. We love hearing what you're doing with you're out checking out some new craft beer. What am I trying to say here? When you're doing craft beer things, that's a good way to look at it. You can leave us a voicemail at 208-536-3359, or if you don't want to remember a bunch of numbers, you can remember numbers and letters. It's 208-53 oddly ODDLY. But yeah, I'm ready to go on this.
Okay.
on this
All
Untapped
right.
the Craft
Well, let's
segment.
continue this conversation because now it is time to untap the craft and see what our listeners are drinking according to Untapped. And by the way, have you looked at your recap of 2025?
I have not.
Yeah, I did mine last night.
It's probably even more sad than it was last year.
Well, I didn't look at last year because I didn't think it happened. So I missed last year's,
I
but I've
swear
got
I swear we did a year in beer last year.
that was the year before. And last year I didn't think it happened. And then you sent me the link afterwards showing that it did happen, but we didn't have a show on
Well, if you guys want us to read your check-ins,
it.
make sure you follow me on Untapped. It's on at K9 Hops. That's the letter K, the number 9, HOPS, and we'll read your check-ins usually 24 hours prior to show recordings. Denny, I'm drinking a second best brown from Middle Ground Brewing out of Murfreesboro, Tennessee,
Me
this
too.
evening. Um,
Yeah.
I'm going 4.5 caps on this one. This is a little too sweet for me, but I love the fact that there is those coffee notes and the
Hmm.
caramel toffee burnt sugar in it.
Yeah.
Great beer.
Yeah.
Not and not,
I'm going 5.
are you?
I am because this one it hit my happy
Yeah, tell me
spot.
about your happy spot. I think
It's right here in this glass.
yeah,
It's all happy.
I think those two 19-ounce beers just snuck up on us.
Mm.
But let's start with Craig Andrew. Oh, I love that I get to read this one. Craig Andrew, he's right here in the Tampa Bay area. Um, I was supposed to try to get some of this, but I procrastinated and didn't. He's drinking a Christmas ale by Great Lakes Brewing Company
Oh yeah,
out of
classic.
Cleveland, Ohio. A Christmas ale that I used to drink a lot of. And you know who had it, which really kind of threw me off, was Gasparilla.
Oh
They
really?
had it 10 minutes down the street, and now it's gone. So who knows? Um, Chance, if you hear this, if you have more coming, let me know. I'll see it pop up on my Untapped. But 4 cap rating from Craig in the Great Lakes Christmas Ale. And he's drinking, I guess he's drinking that here in Florida. Let's see. Anthony Chio is drinking a Crispy Kitty by Heist Brewery at Untapped at Home. He said a solid pale lager, both smooth and tasty. The noble hops make a big difference, adding the honey and wildflower background. 4 cap rating to go along with that one. Excuse me. And who doesn't love a crispy kitty? I guess. Scrolling up on the list, we've got a handful of check-ins, 2 check-ins from Alex Fuchs. Um, Alex, you always check into beers, buddy, that I can't pronounce. That's a lot of K's and A's next to each other. I can't. So, the first one you're drinking is the Flu Fighters, like the name, by Schnitt Brewing Company. 4 cap rating on that one, and I'm gonna try it. The Rukerak 2025 by Pohala. And you're checking both of these in at the Three-Legged Crow Home Brewery. The Flu Fighters got a 4 cap rating, and the Rukerak got 3 3/4. So cheers to you on those. I like the label art on the Flu Fighters. Um, Now I want to go listen to Dave Grohl scream a little bit. Matt Griffo is drinking a Jesse, good to see you're back. I guess you're done navigating. Matt Griffo checking into a Lager Helles by Tucher Brow. Crisp, clean, and no flaws. Love that these beers are in cans now. Yeah, we were pretty much talking the same thing about that Bamberg beer. But your Lager Helles, yeah, the description's in German. I can't even read that. Scrolling on up our list is going to be next with Chad Lamassa. Got to continue that 2 million show check-in streak. He's drinking a Living Large by Finback Brewery. Only notes he put for it, juicy. 4 1/4 cap rating for that beer. Matt Griffo again. He's checking into a Lambic by Copper Hill Brewery in Tennessee. Grabbed the raspberry, assertive acidity, present. Wait a minute. That's too many words going together that just aren't sounding right. Grab the raspberry, assertive acidity, present natural raspberry, assertive acidity, present natural raspberry flavor. Honestly, a lot better than I had anticipated. 4.25 cap rating for Matt's check in there. And then we've got Cody A drinking a green moss by Hop Butcher for the World. No notes, but a 4.25 cap rating for his check in. Eric Scotty Ward drinking a barrel aged American Imperial Stout by Coonhen Brewing. Coonan? Coonan.
Oh, okay.
No, I didn't say Coonhen.
It
Calm
sounded
down,
bad.
Denny. Okay, yeah, if it is coon hen, then rich, thick, black malt. This one has legs but no head. Dark chocolate with barrel scent and taste. A slow sipper at 12.9%. Serving at 57 degrees. I bet you he's got one of those cool lasers too. I'm one and done. And to all, a good night. Very well said, Eric. 4.25 caps for the Coonan Brewing Company's barrel-aged American Imperial Stout. Bill Schlemmer, I love that he checked into this one too after our conversation with Brandon, checking into a Scotch ale
Nice.
by New Glarus Brewing Company. Delicious Scotch ale, malty, caramelly with a hint of dried fruit. Very smooth for a 9.7% beer that he gave a 4.25
That
rating.
is a huge Scotch ale.
Yeah.
9.7. I thought 7.2 was big. 9.7. That's like
9.7 in a 12-ounce can.
that's
Uh,
crazy.
yeah, that's a heck of a. Oh, how did I know this was going to be his notes? Robert, or Chew Your Beer, is drinking a TDH Hello LA by Highland Park Brewery. Denny, what were his notes?
First in my
You nailed
community.
it. First in my community, you absolutely nailed it. First in my community to untap this beer. Damn awesome beer that he gave a 5 cap rating to. So the TDH Hello LA by Highland Park Brewery. Give him a little toast there on that one. Scrolling on up, Tammy Miller is drinking a First Date by Alley Cat Brewing Company. Belgian beer is good for your gut because of its double fermentation process. Can someone fact check that for me? Because if it is, I'm down. Um, because of its double fermentation process, which increases probiotic levels. I'll drink to that. She gave that a 4 cap rating. And an education on probiotics in your beer. She's also checking into a Good Grandpa by Manual Labor Beer. And she only gave it a 3 cap rating, but she said, I shared this beer with a really good grandpa. This is a light beer. I taste a bit of saltiness, but the caramel sweetness isn't coming through for me. It has a slight sour aftertaste. I don't want a slight sour aftertaste in my salted caramel porter.
No, you don't.
Might be a little old, but
Uh,
that's what everybody's drinking.
wow, that is great. And I am just finishing up my great drinking list here because now it's time for our new and noteworthy beers.
I
Uh,
actually have some this time.
Left over from last time that we
Shut
didn't
up,
talk
Denny. Give
about.
me
You
a
didn't have
little
any new.
credit.
You didn't have any
Celebrate the
new
little
ones, man. Come
celebrate the little
on.
wins. I don't know.
Go ahead. Tell us what you drank there, Kris.
I just closed my untapped window, so give me
Oh,
a
never mind.
second.
I'll start. I'll start
It's
then.
open again. I don't have to
Okay.
log back in. Um, mm, okay. So I had a beer from, this is not on my list. Is it on my list? I gotta scroll down.
Your list is two beers, both from
Guess what?
my part
Both
of
from Gin
town.
Dandy. Okay, guess
Yeah.
what? I had a beer called Coco Nar from
Ooh.
Perfect Plain Brewing Company. Um, and I got this at Badass Beer Fest. They
Okay.
just it fell into my hand and I took it and
Okay.
walked away. Um, Perfect Plain Brewing Company, come on, load, is out of Pensacola, Florida.
Hmm.
And this was a uh, so much to read. It was a coconut sweet stout. And this one was just the right amount of roastiness and just the right amount of coconut flavor. Denny, it would rival the, when's the last time you heard this name? The Hawaiian Lion
Oh
that
yeah,
you and I had back
Hawaiian
in
Lion.
Vegas. God, that 10 years ago now. Um, but great, great beer. I gave a 4 cap rating to it. I had to kind of drink it in a hurry because I was trying to cook dinner and
Mm.
drink this beer, but really enjoyed it. And the cool part was is that the guys that were pouring for Perfect Plain Brewing were also pouring for, there's the Tacker Urban South, um, and just had a great quick conversation with those guys just about beers and hey, what about this one? What about that? What about that one? What do you like in this one? And they were like, here, just take these. We don't want to have to take them back. So they gave me beer, and it ended up on my new and noteworthy. So the Perfect Plain Brewing, where'd it go? Coco Nar, GNAR, 4 cap rating for me. And then the second one, where'd it go? I didn't think I was gonna like this beer as much as I did either, especially out of a plastic cup.
Oh,
New Holland
whoa!
Brewings,
I haven't heard that name in a long time.
Dragon's Milk,
Yeah.
Crimson Keep.
Okay, what's the Crimson Keep
The
add
Crimson
to this?
Keep is a barrel. It was it barrel aged? Yeah, barrel aged Imperial Red Ale coming in at 11%.
It's a not a milk stout. It's a red ale.
No, so they have
Oh,
a
well, they snuck one in.
so
I
they
thought it was a
have
red. I thought it was a milk stout.
Dragon's Milk is a series now. It's not just the
Oh, it's not just the milk stout.
no, and this one's a little special. So Dan likes Dragon's Milk a lot. Yeah. I was texting him about that when you guys were in let's see, where were you leave? You were in Washington last night or wherever the hell you guys were when I was texting him about this. But this beer was a little special for me, Denny, because I took this out of the back of my dad's refrigerator.
From what decade?
Now listen, my dad doesn't drink
Yeah.
beer, I don't think anymore. Um, and he when I got there yesterday to go visit him, he was like, "Yeah, there's if you guys want water, soda, whatever you guys want to drink." He's like, "There's a couple beers in there," and I was like, "Oh, okay." And I reached in the back, and it was a bottle of beer that my brother had left when
Okay.
he was there. Jeez, I want to say early summer visiting
Okay.
him.
Okay.
Um, and I reached in there, I was like, oh, there's a beer bottle. And I pulled it out and I saw it was this Dragon's Milk. Denny, this thing's 11%.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I
They're
was like,
big.
yeah,
Yeah.
that doesn't go well with pot roast, Dad. Sorry, I'm just gonna throw that back in there. And there was another can in there too, and I pulled that out, Golden Monkey from Victory. Yeah, I'm
Oh
not doing that one either.
no.
So when we left after dinner and hanging out with him, I was like, "Do you mind if I just take those beers?" And he was like, "Yeah, I'm not gonna drink
Oh,
them."
nice.
So I took him back to the hotel with us, and we went and I had a couple
And had
beers.
a nightcap.
So,
Yeah.
of course, I had to make a video and
Oh.
send it to my brother and go, "Hey, thanks for the beers." But a 4 cap rating on that Dragon's Milk Crimson Keep. I remember when he got them because he was texting me about it. They were buy one get one at our local grocery store too.
No way.
Yeah,
Wow, that's a good deal.
yeah.
Because those come in four
They come
packs,
in 4 packs.
and it was probably like $28 for the 4 packs. So you got
$15
it's only $15 for
for
that
the
four
4 pack.
pack.
Yeah,
Man, Florida has some good prices on beer.
yeah. Right. I'm giving you crap about.
Wow, that's a good. That's a good price. That is a really good. And you got two for 15
So
bucks.
so if I remember correctly, the next time we go to Publix, I'll double check, but I'm pretty sure that the 4 packs of New Holland Dragon's Milk were 15.99, 16.99, even if they were $20.
The regular one, but I think this 9.7% would be more expensive, right?
What 9.7? This one was 11%.
Or 11%.
Yeah, okay. But
Wait, what did I say?
I don't
Well,
know.
I'm thinking about the other beer, 9.7.
Have another sip.
I lost track. I'm trying to save my last sip for the last toast. I don't
We
want
have derailed
yeah.
over here.
Okay,
Yeah.
well,
So even if it was $20 for the 4 pack,
yeah, it's still
buy
worth
one
it.
get one free. That's
Yeah,
a hell of a deal. So those, along with my there's my outline. My other two beers that were provided by you,
yeah.
from Jim Dandy Brewing. Their 7-year beer, their Kiwi Party. Oh my gosh.
Awesome, isn't it? That beer is
That
so
was the one
good.
that had kiwi terpenes. Was it kiwi
Yeah,
terpenes in it? Oh,
yeah,
it was like biting into kiwi candy.
yeah. It was so good.
It was such a good beer, and it had a little hop bitterness to it. And this was he's not lying. This was off of notes from last episode that we skipped because we were chatting with the boys over at Wanderback Beer Works. Um, but yeah, such a good beer, and it was another beer that it was a little sweet, but I still wanted to keep drinking it.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Yeah.
and then so I gave that one a 5 cap rating, and then another Jim Dandy beer. I mean, Davis makes some great beer. Their Oktoberfest.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, Dan's making commentary while driving. So here, take this commentary. Where are you guys right now? Um,
Oh,
so the Jim Dandy Brewing Oktoberfest, I gave it a 4.5 cap rating. It was a simple beer, a little bit of a little bit of caramel to it, but nice and malty, little bit of bitterness at the end. But it was just such a great beer, and I love when I can get a hold of Jim Dandy beers. So thank you for sending me
yeah,
those.
yeah, yeah.
And
He
those,
he changes up that Oktoberfest every year, so it's not the same beer each year, which is nice.
well, I mean, he nailed both of those this year.
Yeah.
They are in Covington, Washington, going to Airbnb in Renton, Washington. Well,
Oh,
good.
they're going to be in Seattle area. Okay,
Yeah, yeah. He
nice.
said that they were south of Seattle yesterday. So,
Yeah.
Denny, you've got a hell of a list over here. And
I,
some of these breweries, there's one specifically I haven't heard this brewery name in a long time. So,
yeah,
tell
yeah.
us about them. What you
Yeah,
got?
so I cut off two of the beers because I added one or two beers because there are 5 cap ratings, and I have
You've
to
got
add. Yeah,
yeah.
it's been a month in generating, and there's probably more that I didn't. But the first one I want to talk about is one I had last night. I picked it up at the co-op. It's from pFriem Family Brewers. You know how I love
Mm,
pFriem. It's the Nectaron Hazy IPA. Nectaron is a hop out of New Zealand. And I'll tell you what, this beer is so good. It's 7.3% ABV, so it's not it's a bit of a hefty, hazy IPA, but this beer had so much flavor. I got bright citrus orange character. I got some melon. I got a little bit of berry in there, and it all comes through at different, layered in at different points. So good. I love this beer. 5 cap rating. What I said is the hazy golden yellow color with bright white pillowy head invites you to enjoy this beer. Bright citrus hop flavor with some tropical notes and melon too. Great hazy IPA. So that's the first one. Next beer is coming from my other, one of my favorite breweries, Bert's Brewing. And yes,
mm,
we did have Bert's on the show. And this is their Evil Woman Imperial Red Ale. Now, Imperial Reds can be tough because they can come across a little bit boozy. No booze in this beer. Um, had a pint of this at the brewery last week. Really, really enjoyable. I said a very good Imperial Red with good flavor. 100% hides the ABV, and that's true. You did not know that this beer was 8% ABV. It had no
nice.
tie. I said I could drink this all night before I pass out, not realizing I was drinking a bigger beer. So that one is really good. Next beer is from Jim Dandy Brewing. It's their Nomad Pills. And I had this one a while back. It was in a 32 ounce, I think it was a 32 ounce crowler. Let's see I'm trying to bring everything up. Yeah, 32-ounce crowler. And what I said about this, it's a 5.6% ABV, 40 IBU beer. Floral hop and cereal malt aroma and flavor. Nice moderate bitter finish alongside the malt sweetness, balancing it well. Medium bodied and crispness makes me want to take another sip immediately after the first. Well done, Davis. I gave that a 4.5 cap rating. The Evil Woman was a 5 cap if I didn't say that already. Really good Imperial Red. Really, really good. Next one is Boulevard Brewing. That's the one you we haven't talked about for a while. Rum barrel aged pecan pie. Wow, this beer was really good. I gave this beer a 4.5 cap rating. And what I said about it is rum and toffee with some pecan on the nose. Flavors follow the aroma, but with a much more pronounced pecan and sweetness from the maple. There's maple syrup in it as well. For a nearly 14% ABV beer, this Imperial Brown is great for a single beer nightcap, but one is enough. Yeah, that was a really good beer, but it is a little bit sweet. But man, it hides that almost 14% ABV really well. You don't know you're drinking a 14%. It's actually 13 and a half, I think, but close enough. Next one is from Lumberbeard. I haven't talked about Lumberbeard Brewing for a while. It's called their Hop Choppin version 12 IPA. And I'm trying to find. I've drank so many beers, I can't find all the. Oh, shoot, I got to find this one. It must be going further than. But this beer was really good. I found it. What I said about this, 4.5 cap rating, by the way. Nice IPA, enjoying beers, my buddy Bob. Ah, you see how that is? Short and sweet. Let's do that one. Okay, here's one. Talking about my buddy Bob, we went to his. Remember, last episode I mentioned that Bob was retiring.
Yep.
I've worked with Bob for 13, 14 years. One of the best customers you could ever ask for. Really super guy, and we love going out and drinking beer together. So we're more than just, we have our off work time together too, drinking beer. But this one was their at his going away party at Sockeye Brewing here locally in Boise. It's their Hat on Hat Hazy IPA. I drank 2 of these at his little going away thing at Sockeye. Really, really good. And what I said is very tasty IPA. 4.5 cap rating.
That's how I know you had a good time.
Yeah. I just enjoyed it. I drank 2 and I was really happy. The last beer I'll talk about is a collaboration. I'm burping. It's from Coronado Brewing out of California and Altamont Beer Works out of California. It's called the Scenic Route. And guess what style it is? It's a black IPA. We just talked about black IPAs. Yeah. You know how I love black IPAs. I gave this a 4.5 cap rating as well. It says nice toasty malt aroma. The toasted malt falls up into the upfront flavor and followed by some hops midway and finishes with a little dark roast bitterness. A very tasty black IPA and hitting all the spots for me on this Thursday evening. 4.5 cap rating. So there you go, Kris. I tried to talk really fast. With those beers.
Well, you've been thirsty over the last couple of weeks.
I've drank a lot of beer.
Good beers too.
Yeah. Sarah's been treating me really well by picking me up beers when she goes to the co-op, and I've been drinking them.
And then look what happens on the kickoff of your Christmas vacation.
Yeah.
So you're earning those beers, buddy.
I am. I'm earning them. All right, Kris. We're going to get the show done in under 2 hours for a Christmas special. So before we close out the show, I'd like for you to be able to raise your glass to anyone you'd like to raise a glass to. So who would you like to toast tonight?
So with the little bit of the brown ale that I have left,
just a little.
You can't pay attention to the logo that's in there. Sorry, Jim and Brittany. But I want to raise a glass to Brandon over at Middle Ground Brewing Company. Thank you so much for the time, Brandon. Thank you so much for getting these beers out to us. And I will tell you, You are the only person that we've had on the show, or you're the only representative of a brewery that we've had on the show that actually followed our email instructions to the T and sent us a high quality version of your logo for us to use on our social media
Oh,
postings. So, um,
nice.
not only did he send us beers, not only did he give us his time to come and hang out with us, that man follows direction and instructions. I love it. Love
Attention to
it.
detail.
Yeah, it makes a big difference. So, Brandon, cheers to you, man. The beers were phenomenal, and again, thank you
Yeah.
for sending them and for the time this evening. Denny, who would you like to raise a glass to this evening?
I'll follow with your toast to Brandon and Middle Ground. Go if you were in the Murfreesboro or Nashville area, go down to Murfreesboro or go over wherever it is. I'm not sure geographically, but go visit Middle Ground.
It's
Uh,
literally in the middle of the state,
it's in the middle of the state. You can't go wrong.
geographically in the center.
Really good beers. Yeah, both beers I really enjoyed, especially this brown. 5 cap rating. I'm going to give it here after the show. Really good brown ale. Not phoning it in like some other breweries do. Really
Ugh,
good job.
God.
All right, and also our Patreon toast goes out to my good buddy Alex Fuchs out there in Israel. He's traveling through Austria right now. I think. I think that's where he's at. Cheers to you, buddy. Enjoy your Hanukkah. And another toast goes out to my lovely wife, Sarah. Tomorrow, on Tuesday, the 23rd, we will be celebrating our 36th anniversary, wedding anniversary. So thank you, honey, for putting up with me for 36 years, going strong. I love you. And for everyone else out there, Merry Christmas, Happy
Merry
New Year.
Christmas,
Thank
guys.
you for being a part of our show for all of this year and many years for a lot of our listeners. And of course, being a former serviceman, I want to raise my glass. I want to thank all those who have served and are currently serving, especially during the holidays. I hope I really appreciate your service, and I hope you guys are able to return home safe to your families very soon. And you can find the beers and a link to Middle Ground Brewery on our show notes located on the show post at tapthecraft.com. And it is finally last call. It's time to bring this show to a close. We want to thank you for downloading and listening. We ask you to please tell a friend. And of course, subscribe on your favorite podcast app. And as a reminder, we release a new show every 2 weeks. Now go out there and spread the good word of craft beer. Yes,
Denny,
Kris?
we didn't talk about the upcoming interviews that we have.
Oh, you're right. Thank you, Kris. I totally blew that. I was going through so fast.
That's
Uh, we
okay.
d- we do have some upcoming interviews. The next episode on January 5th, we will be interviewing Andrew, Jasmine, and one other person. I think I didn't get the other name from Liquid Intrusion Brewing out of Prince George's County, Maryland. Uh, they'll be joining us on the 5th, and then going into the year a little bit into March 30th, we're going to have Tom Everett from Von Trapp Brewing out of Stowe. I'm
Vermont.
assuming Stowe,
Yeah,
Vermont.
Stowe,
Yeah.
Vermont. Do you know,
So we're
do you see what their address is? Is
yeah,
it
it's Luce Hill.
Luce Hill? Yeah.
It's like, hey, I must have some kind of notoriety out there. Hopefully, it's positive.
Yeah.
Not
Well, yeah, you're right. It's like the Hatfields and the McCoys.
yeah,
They're like, I hope it's okay.
it's a massacre on Luce Hill.
Yeah. No, we're definitely looking forward to chatting with both of those
Yeah.
breweries in the new year. But now that I've derailed you again,
No, you did good. You did good.
I wanted to make sure we got those in too. So,
Yeah.
um, but
All
yeah,
right.
let's go out and spread the good word of craft beer. Cheers, guys.
Cheers.